copyrighted PDF or something. Go live. There you go. Going live. Okay. It says you're live, but I have no idea if YouTube is lying to me or not. We will find out shortly. Hello, it's Blark and me. Oh, there we go. We are live.
Perfect.
Welcome to the stream, chat. I said check, Jack, and
First
Renee.
flub. First flub
Hello.
of the night.
First flop. Yeah, very early on.
Hi,
Yeah.
chat. Oh,
I guess I should announce what this is. I have no idea what this is. We just came up with it like an hour ago or so. We're just like,
yeah.
yeah, we should draw
We
something and
were,
just yeah.
yeah. I mean, we were people who were here for the last stream. Knew I was running meatheads for you and a little just like one-on-one thing, and we were talking about bringing it back and continuing it, but I don't know, it just kind of like fell through, and then no, I was just like I just kind of want to hang out and like ramble and doodle with Chow. I don't have to worry about running a game. Let's just like shoot the shit.
Sometimes you just want to shoot the shit
Yeah, I mean, what
and
have you been
draw.
working on? You've been doing Cannibal Lords lately, right?
The first thing people want us to draw is a penis, which I'm not gonna do.
Hey, I
Hey,
got you. I
yeah.
got you. I got
No,
you, King.
no, 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 my YouTube channel. All
Just kidding.
right. Wait, let me actually see. Is the audio levels okay for everybody? Well, we'll see in a minute. But we, what have I been working on? I've been working on Cannibal Lords, which is like kind of a solo dungeon crawler about cannibalism. My card art project and some other commissions. But yeah, I've been actually getting really into war games and like chits and like just like printing out a bunch of counters and like cutting them up and stuff,
Heck yeah,
which
that's so.
is great. Very old school, I think.
I was I was gonna sell a like box set of like a D&D thing I have that's like
Oh,
castles, but it includes a battle system with like a bunch of chits,
oh wait,
and I was
is that like
it was
there's a chainmail one that was released? There's like a
it,
miniatures kind of thing.
no, it wasn't the chainmail. It's like it's legit. I think it's like second edition AD&D like battle system is what it's called.
Oh, oh, okay,
Um,
yeah.
and it's like I mean reviews of it are like meh, whatever, but
Yeah.
it's got like a bunch of cool chits and stuff, and so I was just like had a bunch of extra chits, and I was like I can't throw these out. I got to find something for them. So
You gotta
I
do
was like
something with it.
yeah, and I mean like I kind of would love to write an individual skill war game.
Yeah,
Um,
skirmish.
yeah, and what was I gonna say? Something more like no, no, it completely left my mind. No, but Cannibal Lords is cool. I don't know. It's like it's weird because like it's not uh war game. Sorry, I'm doing two things at once. Um, I don't know, Chad. What do you think like is the main differences between like a war game and
I
just
think
like
like
a
this one is
tabletop
like
RPG?
I was primarily gonna make a war game at first, and then I was
Hmm.
like, this is hard. I should stick to what I know, and I made a dungeon crawler. But like I was thinking though, like primarily like the difference between chits and paper minis, and like 3D miniatures, and other stuff like that. I was trying to figure out which one I really liked, and I think is this one, chits. I think I really like chits. I for some
Yeah,
reason I don't know why. Also, Jack asked, "Do you gain powers from cannibalism?" Yes. Do you eat the peen in Cannibalism Lords? No. What powers do you gain from eating the peen? See my previous answer. There's no peen eating. I might
no
be added in a
peening.
future iteration, but not right now, unfortunately.
I've got yeah, cannibals. I always got cannibals on the brain.
Yeah.
They're it's a very interesting thing. I in meatheads there's like a cannibal like technique you can learn where it's you basically eat the flesh and you gain like temporary HP, but your hunger grows and you have to like eat more and more flesh every day.
Oh
Um,
yeah. I think we talked about this, and it's like
yeah,
I think it might be interesting to suffer side effects as well. But actually, just having that thing where you have to eat more and more flesh is already really good.
yeah, because I think I did not yet write down like what happens if you don't eat the flesh, but just a good way to be like, oh shit, I gotta
I
find
gotta eat
some,
the flesh.
I gotta find 30 pounds of uncooked flesh to eat. Um, but I also there's another game it's been on my back burner for a while, but
Hmm.
it's a game I want to write for violence,
Oh yeah.
a big Western hex crawl. Um, that's sort of um,
So we should probably explain what violence is for people who don't know.
oh yeah,
It's
yeah, violence is a
yeah. You want to go ahead with it?
yeah, sure. It's a I don't know, it's a system for TTRPGs.
Oh,
I'm
Luke
not good at explaining
Gearing.
this. Yeah, it's a Luke Gearing joint. So
Luke Gearing joint.
Luke wrote this game system violence, which is pretty simple. D20, you just gonna roll over. Pretty much the only rules are for violence, with the intention being that with only rules for violence, pretty much anything else is open ended. And so um, everything I find it's funny because I've actually never played violence, but when I write for violence, I'm like everything when like writing in the system, like it never gets in the way. I don't have to
Yeah.
think about anything. I don't think
It's
about rolling
interesting
dice.
that
I can just
like
write what I want.
violence was made primarily for adventures that are mostly like most of your actions are not violence. But because the violence is so like brutal and like fast, it's
Yeah,
like it
it,
just like makes it so that you want to avoid it as much as possible. Also,
yeah,
Renee says I ordered 3 random tables, book one for dungeon layers, one for inns, one for taverns, and one other one. Let's see. Made a undead dragon that grows more powerful with the number of dragons they kill and devour. Oh, dragon cannibalism is good. That's cool.
yeah.
Kind of like
I mhm.
alternative to collecting gold, right?
I've yeah, in the meatheads, I've made it where dragons they gain like HD by eating magic items.
Yeah.
So when you're like if you slay a dragon, it's just like filled with like magic items or gold or stuff like that. But yeah, I definitely wanted to like have that aspect of like the consumption of wealth.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah. Like you always wonder like why do dragons actually hoard treasure, you know?
there's probably someone wrote a paper on it that we can read, but I'm not no fucking nerd. I'm not reading that shit.
Yeah,
I'm
I
just
think
kidding.
like I just like the
Uh,
idea of like them eating the gold and them actually gaining powers from it.
yeah, I think I had an idea a while back where it's just sort of like, and this ties into sort of how like rich people are crazy, right? At some point where you have like a certain amount of money, it just
You
fundamentally
just
changes
stop
the way
being a
that you
human
think.
being.
Yeah,
Like
exactly. And sort of I was thinking about that in way where in a fantasy setting where dragons are really, one of the few beings capable of hoarding such treasure without going insane. I
hmm.
guess they're already insane, but like they don't, think like people. Um, but I don't know. I think it's an interesting thing where it's like, yeah, dragons are able to collect so much wealth and not be uh, fucking cats just like running everywhere. Um, I forget what I'm saying. I
No, you're
shouldn't
saying
draw
like
and talk at the same
gold
time.
makes people insane, and then
Yeah,
dragons.
and so I mean, just having dragons be I don't know, not driven to such insanity that like a person would be. They wouldn't have like the level of paranoia. But I guess again, you could just
That's
say like
interesting. Yeah, I will
a
actually go in the
dragon is
opposite
that.
direction. I'll actually
Yeah,
go the opposite direction and make them just like the symbol of like utter like
yeah,
wealth, I guess.
which I think is like what most people do, and it's kind of like an easier thing. So I'm trying to
Yeah,
think of like how can you twist it? How can you make it like,
that's
well, this dragon's
true.
like, oh, actually, wealth doesn't affect me at all
Uh,
because I'm not human.
let's see. Oh, welcome to the stream, Geffmore. Let's see. Jack asked what makes cannibalism evil. I don't think we ever said cannibalism was evil.
I don't think it's evil, no.
I think
I
it's
mean,
fine. I mean, if
I
it tastes good, it
think
tastes good.
I think the thing with eating human flesh is that it's a caloric deficiency.
Yeah,
So when you
apparently,
eat
like
it,
when
yeah,
you have children, they will stop being able to walk over time. I literally went to like I went to my Muay Thai session 2 days ago, and I told my instructor about the cannibalism game I'm making because I do that, and he was like telling me about how different tribes that ate people, their children will stop being able to walk,
Interesting.
which I didn't know about. Let's see. Does the gold taste rich to the dragon? Oh, that's pretty good. Good pun. Jack says power corrupts. Renee says don't diss the needs. That's true. That's true. Not all dragons hoard treasure. Some hoard magical tomes or scrolls. Some magical artifacts. Oh yeah, I'm also working with this on this thing with Catherine, where we made like this giant crab-like dragon-like creature who eats magic towers. Like they just
Nice.
eat entire magic towers, and they have like this magic basically transforms their skin, and you can like actually get magic off that.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, there's no shortage of all the cool shit you can do with dragons or whatever. But yeah, I think no, 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 I got nothing. Um,
I think let's see here. Oh yeah, we were supposed to make a map. I forgot about that completely.
I'm trying my best to draw some dungeon rooms, but my
Should we make a new? Should I like? Should we make a new layer and like I don't know.
sure, why not?
Let's just hide the layer, and then we can get back to it. But let's see, add layer. Can you add a layer on your end actually?
Um, I can only add a new image.
I think I can add a layer and then give you access to that layer probably. Let me see if I can do that. Arrange layers, assign layer to BLARK. Here we go. There you go. So the top layer should be yours now.
Oh, okay, sweet.
That's because of a disease or something. Oh, the cannibalism thing. I think as long as you don't eat the brain, cannibalism won't affect you like that. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that. Apparently it's bad to eat brains. I don't know why I said that so nonchalantly. Like, of course it's bad to eat brains. Or is it? You know, it's a interesting ethical question. An ethical dilemma, if you will. Oh yeah, so we're gonna be making a dungeon today. Possibly, maybe. We have no idea what we're doing today. We're just kind of rambling and figuring out how to draw straight vertically. I think we were talking about that before before the stream started. Like, for some reason, even like I can draw pretty straight lines like that, but I can't draw a straight line downwards, and that's just because like the angle of it. Like, let me try it actually. Like, yeah, I can't do it. I fuck up.
That's better than I am.
Oh, here we go. Kuru, which is a laughing disease, comes from brain-eating cannibalism. Laughing disease? Oh shit, we should make a dungeon about about laughing disease from cannibalism. We should do that.
Yeah.
Like a cannibalism dungeon. I mean, we have a grid right there. Yeah, what do you guys want to do for like a theme for like this dungeon? I'm just gonna ask chat to like give us ideas since we are creatively bereft of ideas as in general. But yeah, it's gonna take a bit of delay. So what do you want to do, BLARK?
I don't know. I mean, like when I make a dungeon, I don't normally think about what's inside of it until after I draw it.
Yeah, like you get the structure down, and then after that you can figure out what that structure can indicate, kind of thing.
Yeah, and that's just usually like drawing shapes on the paper until I'm happy with them, and they're like pleasing to me. So, but yeah, I mean, what if we make like a cavernous place to start?
Oh,
So we
that'll
don't
be
have to worry.
fun. And then we don't need to draw straight lines. Like both you and I don't need to draw straight lines. That'll be good. Let's see. I made my own dragon. It's called an ooze dragon, says Renee. It is typically found in Antarctica. No wings, migrate, and use ice breath. I like ooze dragons for some reason. I just like the idea of an ooze dragon. So yeah, like you guys should check out BLARK's itch. I'll put it in the description after this stream. For some reason, I put a Meatheads Kickstarter instead. I will put BLARK's itch as well. But he makes amazing stuff, like in terms of his maps. He has a free map pack as well as this mega dungeon. Would you say 1,000 statues is a mega dungeon?
Sure. I guess it's like 22 levels.
Yeah, it's
I'd
pretty
say
huge, I
sure,
think.
yeah.
I think it's just that the details are they're not sparse, but they're given very terse format. So,
Mhm. Terse, yeah, very terse.
but I think something we were talking about was that when BLARK was making 1,000 statues, which is this whole huge dungeon that he was making over a year, I think.
It was actually just a month or so. It was a really quick project. It was a spur of the moment thing. That like it's it's very personal work. So it's you know, it was kind of like it came up suddenly, just thinking about it, and then like I just like get home from work and I just sit down after work and just like draw and write,
Ah,
and then and so like really it took maybe about 4 or 5 weeks to finish it from start to finish maybe. Um, I don't know. I can't really give you an exact timeline, but it really wasn't that long. Just sort of got the booklet from Thriftomancer. It was sent to me by way of Jarrett Crater. It was caught in my mailbox overnight in the rain. So when I got it, it was water damaged. So that added like another like unique sort of like
oh, that's
layer
how it
to
got
it.
water damage. Okay.
Yeah, it was like yeah. And so from there, I just sort of like wrote a title on it and just but that for that one it was interesting because I came up I had the title first, you know. Sometimes I just will have projects like that where it's just
Yeah, yeah.
you
Like
think of a cool
I
title and
I sometimes do the same thing as well. Like I start with a title of the dungeon. Find that it can
Mhm.
help you keep focused on the theme. Speaking of
Yeah,
theme, we got a recommendation for a body of a giant ooze, like internal organs and such. I think that will work for our cannibalism theme as well. Actually,
yeah.
like a giant ooze, like that might be interesting if we do like you know how we were gonna make that dungeon where it was like a vertical map.
I was about to say vertical,
Yeah,
like a side view. I think that'd be perfect,
yeah,
honestly, because you could do like here if like I do a basic sketch, you get like the top tunnel here, then you go.
yeah, yeah. Little ooze dungeon.
Yeah.
Well, not
Are you
little,
drawing something?
but yeah, I'm
Are
not
you
drawing
drawing
anything
something?
yet.
Okay, perfect. I
Uh,
wasn't sure if you were
I'm
drawing.
just gonna be following your lead, basically.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Um, what if we? So if we're doing like a what do you call it? Lateral
I
view?
think we should just
Maybe
do a
we.
sketch first. Yeah, we should just like do
Yeah.
a general sketch first.
I'm thinking like if this is like the outside,
Yeah. Oh, it's like kind of
like that.
like a either a volcano or a cairn or a mountain or hill or something.
Yeah. Ooh, what
Elevated.
if it was like an ooze volcano?
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah.
Let's see. Cannibalism can be coupled with a power of blood magic curse. Uh, could have light fog of maybe blood particles, says Renee. Jack says the dungeon is inside the body of a colossal ooze. Yep, that's what we're going for. That's basically what we're going for. I think yeah, it's like kind of like fossilized ooze maybe, and it's like kind of like
Yeah.
that, right? I should probably use a different color so that we can actually see. Let me try to go for green. Uh, gotta go for green, like that, right?
Yeah. I'm
Just like
trying to think
sketching
like
it out at the moment, but
so
we don't need to be like super
if
accurate.
it's a fossilized ooze, do you think like its like outer layer is sort of like hardened and crusted over?
Yeah,
Is
I'm
this
thinking
ooze?
what might be good is that the bottom part is still heated up, so it's still like
Mhm.
oozy, and it's in danger of erupting. And if you do
Yeah,
the wrong things, it can erupt.
I definitely think we need like a gooey, oozy center.
Dennis asked, what software do you guys use to draw at the same time? We're using Magma Studio, which is just a browser application, and you can use it for free as well. This reminds me of the Mystery Flesh Pit. Is that the one
Oh
that I
yeah,
drew that one time? I feel like
I think
I
so. Yeah,
probably drawn that at some point. I think I've drawn
I
many
was
flesh pits. I feel like.
I was honestly thinking the same thing. Yeah, there's that like Twitter fake promotional like visit the flesh pit, the mystery flesh pit of
Okay, yeah, yeah, no, I remember that now.
or you think
Uh,
it's something or you think it's something different? Just flesh pits in general?
I think like Wendy Gun made a video on it. Like, there's
Uh-huh.
this YouTuber who does like this kind of. He did a long video on Blood Meridian, but he also does a lot of videos on just creepy stuff in general. And I think there's one called I think it was a Mystery Flesh Park, Man, there's so many mystery
Yeah,
flesh things.
I think that's the one. Yeah, the one that I was thinking of too.
Yeah, I think so we're probably going with ooze, but I do want like some kind of organs in there, like an actual structure for the ooze, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that'll be
I'm
cool.
drawing tunnels, so I'm actually not happy with these tunnels. I think we should, yeah.
Yeah, I mean this is just a sketch, so we'll be drawing over this, I think. Probably.
So I think what I would do then is like figure out if I was drawing this like where um sorry, doing something. I'd center around like trying to figure out like well what kind of organs do we want?
I think
What kind of
lungs might be
slot?
interesting for like pumping out some of the ooze, right?
Yeah, and
Like
then you
like
can
like
also
I don't know how to draw lungs, but
and like the lungs pump fresh air from outside into the dungeon at
yeah,
the lower
yeah.
levels, giving like oh that's cool. And you can have like air sacs that fill. Um
Yeah, it doesn't I guess it doesn't have to look like lungs. How the hell do lungs look like? I'm gonna Google them. Oh, it's
um
basically what I just drew. So
yeah, basically.
yeah, alright. They're just kind of weird blobs.
Do you know how like dinosaurs would have secondary like nerve bundles that acted as like second or not they'd have nerve bundles throughout their bodies that acted like secondary brains because of
No,
their
I did
massive
not know
size?
that. That's sick. That's awesome.
Yeah. So I think like if we have like nerve bund because the thing is so big,
Yeah, yeah.
it probably has like these like central like
Like it's distributed
uh
brain kind of stuff.
yeah, distributed brain, just kind of like you go around and find like maybe there's like mini brains and there's like one big brain.
Oh yeah, that'll be cool.
I like the
Um
lungs. The lungs at the beginning are great because it's
might
like ooh,
might
and
also like do a left brain, right brain kind of thing where they're kind of connected in the center.
screw it.
There's
What if
like
we added teeth?
oh, oh yeah, that can kind of look like cavernous. Like you can't tell whether it's like stone or not. That might be interesting. Is the cat messing up stuff again?
Yeah, he totally just knocked something
Oh
down.
my god,
What
cat.
was that?
Octopuses have brains at the end of each tentacle. What the fuck? Nature is so
Yeah,
weird.
that's cool.
Nature is so strange.
Yeah, I'm thinking like any sort of like extrasensory organ. Um,
Yeah. I think like these will be your lungs and like they're kind of pulsating.
mhm.
Maybe. I'm not sure. You just sketch at the moment, but like I was thinking like the lungs could be at the forefront. Or should they be at the back actually? I'm not sure.
I think I like them at the forefront because it's kind of like this esophagus that comes down
Yeah,
into the
yeah.
lung.
Like
I
kind of
also
the
like to think
throat.
that because they're so close to the fresh air, so like let's say that yeah, the lungs are enriching.
Hmm.
Does this thing have blood? What is this ooze? I guess it's enriching the ooze with oxygen that carry around like to other parts of his body.
Yeah, I think we shouldn't make it obvious at the start that it's a body. Kind of like
Mhm.
the dungeon that I'm running you through right now, where you just
Yeah,
found out it's a living dungeon.
yeah. Shot that guy.
Shout out to
Unfortunately.
the dungeon that I made. They haven't released yet, but I'm probably gonna release it after I finish running you guys through it.
Is it going to be for Troika, you think, or are you going to do it for just?
I started it for OD&D. I've like written it up completely.
Oh, okay. Are we?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wait, am I
Uh,
thinking of your, or is that the adventure we're playing in Troika?
yeah. That is the adventure you're
Oh,
playing
okay, yeah,
Troika.
yeah, okay, okay.
But I started it for OD&D.
It's the same game.
It's the same thing. Systems don't matter.
Um,
So we got
I'm trying to think of
lungs. We gotta
other.
have the heart, right? Somewhere in
Yeah,
there.
you
Uh,
should have a completely useless organ that has no
like a
function.
liver. I mean, livers
Yeah,
are not useless, but you know
like
what
a
I
gulp.
mean.
Yeah, like the pancreas.
Pancreas.
So I think that's what it is.
Oh my god,
Um,
it's just a lump. I'm trying to figure out how to draw this stuff, and it's just a lump.
yeah, I'm not helping. I'm just thinking of stuff. Um,
Pancreas. Apparently, it looks
what
like
about us?
this.
Yeah.
Strange.
Do you think like maybe the
Um,
bottom should be hmm.
Jack just said that octopuses also have 3 hearts, and they have a brain at the end of each tentacle. Is that real? Is that are you pulling my leg? Jack always has like very interesting facts that I look up afterwards, and I'm like, oh, it's actually real. But I'm never sure because it's so weird. They have 3 hearts and a brain at the end of each tentacle. Is that a
Yeah.
real thing?
octopuses are great. They're so
Damn,
cool.
it's nuts.
I'm gonna draw some little ganglions.
Yeah, we got liver. We got. We should have a heart somewhere, but.
Yeah, I was thinking,
And the intestines
how
should be a
does
depth crawl. No, I'm kidding.
we're just like getting into the like physiology of this
Yeah.
ooze. And like, cause I was thinking like, oh, like should we draw a stomach? But then I'm thinking like an ooze is
Kind of the whole thing is
no.
a stomach, right?
Yeah, it is a it
Yeah.
is it's just a whole stomach, yeah. Um, but I think maybe if we have like there should something that functions as a stomach in which that like it's a trapped hallway that you walk through and then you can get
Ah,
stuck
yeah,
and then
yeah.
like that one British horror film.
I was thinking of the
Uh,
same horror film, but that'll be a huge spoiler if we actually say the name of it. But
oh
I know
no.
what you're talking about. I watched it a few months ago actually with Zenson,
Yeah. I
and we were
remember
like,
you were
"Holy crap!"
freaked out.
Yeah, it's so
Yeah.
good. Uh,
I haven't seen the whole thing, but I saw that scene and I was like, dang, that's
oh, you
scary.
should see the whole thing. Actually, the rest of the movie is really, really good as well. I think it's one of
I
the
have a
best
bad
found footage horror movies I've seen. I still don't want to say the
I've
name of it, but you know.
I was actually just before I came on here, or before you and I were talking an hour ago, I was on YouTube looking at like found footage horror stuff. I don't know why. It scares the shit out of me and I hate it.
Yeah, it's creepy. So those are the like brains, right? And they're like
Yeah,
distributed.
yeah, I'm just thinking like little like nerve brain
I thought what would be
clusters.
might be interesting is actually having two brains that are factions competing with each other, like you
Oh
know, a
yeah,
left
I
and
like
right brain
yeah,
kind of thing.
yeah. I'm thinking like maybe these are just like little nerve bundles, you know,
Oh, okay,
but
okay,
like we
right.
should have like yeah, like big like hemispheres
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let me Google
and
brain.
draw, right?
Let's see. Jack
Yeah.
says earthworms have 5 hearts distributed the length of their body, although they're very primitive hearts. What the fuck? Mother Nature, what are you doing? That's messed up. That's messed up. Let's see. Left brain, right brain. Man, it looks like cauliflower. You know.
Yeah, I'm trying to draw a brain from
Oh,
memory.
that's yeah. That's a good brain actually. I'll draw another
Hmm.
brain right here. I
Yeah.
mean, we'll be drawing over this. I think. Are we gonna draw over this, or are we gonna like?
I
Or is
think
it
it'd be
gonna?
fun, even if we don't draw it over, like draw over it tonight. I think if we get another stream going, we can.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
God damn, I'm so
Regular
bad.
guest Mark Conway.
Woo.
Yeah.
Um, what's some other weird, funky organs?
Well, I mean, the heart we still haven't done. We got. I mean, there's the pancreas, there's liver, kidney, I guess.
Yeah. Um, heart.
We're just drawing
I'm trying
organs now.
yeah. I'm trying to think of like something that you could do with a heart and like its chambers, you know, like heart chambers, and sort of like
Yeah. Like it's gotta be
having
pumping
that.
out. Is where the stuff is being pumped out, right? So maybe it should be at the bottom actually, because it's
Mhm.
pumping out all this stuff. And the heart is
I
also
think
the
yeah,
hardest place to reach. So
yeah, and I feel like actually, what if it is a dual purpose heart and waste organ? You know, because like you know how a heart normally is pumping
yeah,
blood,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
throughout your body.
yeah.
This thing doesn't have blood; it has ooze. So if it's like digesting things in its in its matter itself, and then like sort of like redirecting the waste towards this heart, this like
Oh,
quote
okay, that's
unquote
interesting.
weird
So
this like weird heart that like sort of pumps the ooze, but also like filters out.
right, and after a while, the heart, we could do a thing where the heart just has like this cleansing thing where it pumps out all of it, and that's where the eruption happens.
Yeah, it's just like it's just a shit eruption.
Oh, that's disgusting. I mean, it's
Oh,
not
that's
shit. It's
cool.
ooze. It's ooze. It's
It's
not shit.
ooze.
It's
Yeah, but
ooze.
it's like it's all like the nasty parts of ooze, like
Yeah.
the
The
bad
nasty parts of
ones.
ooze. All isn't all of it nasty?
I don't know. Yeah, I guess so.
Oh, it's kind of gooey.
A good heart
Yeah, thanks. I definitely did
makes
not
my
use
brains
reference of any kind.
look like shit. I don't use reference at all. It's just from
What a master.
my brain that doesn't remember things correctly.
I think that's what you want from your drawings. That's what I'm trying to do from my drawings. That's why I tend to use reference to learn from. But during my actual drawing sessions, I normally don't use reference. Like
I
try
think
to
that's
go
a
from
smart.
memory.
I think that's a smart thing because like even I mean yeah, just like practicing from reference and like getting sense of scale, position, and
Yeah,
just like
yeah, yeah.
angle, and then from there being like, oh, I feel confident enough to draw this like freehand, even if it
And
doesn't,
being able to draw it from like different angles and stuff like that as
Yeah,
well.
I feel like that's kind of what I've been doing like with sketches, just like trying to real quick, like real quick like forms of just like movement or figures or
Yeah,
whatever.
just like getting a gesture down basically.
Yeah, gestures basically. Trying to like feel. Um, I know. I often think about that one video you sent me about drawing, the tempo of drawing, which I found to be very helpful.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Cynics. Cynics makes great drawing videos. You guys should check him out if you want to get into primarily digital painting, but also just art in general. Very good stuff. Sinix. Um, okay, you want to talk a bit about like the structure of like how of the maps and how you can kind of tell the purpose of it just from that? Because we were talking about that a little bit
Yeah,
for
I mean,
this.
when I'm so like if you look at the maps I make in like the BLARK map pack, a lot of those are just kind of like smaller maps that I um, largely pretty much improvise, just like taking the pen straight to the paper. And some of them I do like the larger ones I like pencil out. But I guess like in terms of like when I make a map, I mean I'll just yeah, like I said, make rooms until I kind of like find a pleasing shape, um, and like sort of like a shape like as a dungeon as a whole of like I don't know, these rooms look nice together, or
Like it kind of have to has a loop, and also kind of have to serve a function. Like
kind of yeah, yeah, and it's sort of like fun. So it's fun to like draw the rooms out and then try and suss out what that function could be.
yeah,
Um, And then, I mean, other dungeons I do have like an idea of like, oh, I'm gonna make a cannibal dungeon and I'm gonna make cannibals. But
or in this case, an
yeah,
ooze dungeon.
yeah. But I guess like in terms of so like with meatheads, when I'm like the dungeon I'm writing, the actual layout of the dungeon is like gone through a few drafts of like me just drawing pencil on grid paper, then like switching it to like dungeon scrawl, then like the
Mm-hmm.
Photoshop, and then like getting
Yeah.
rid of those and like redrawing them. And so like my plan is to like draw them by hand. Because right now we're just using the dungeon scroll just to get the basic idea. But
Mm-hmm.
once once the Kickstarter is over, I'm going to be yeah drawing everything by hand, which will be fun and also just yeah enjoyable.
Do you
And
have the photo of your like drafting table?
yeah,
We should put
I
it
mean I
up.
can
We should put it up on like on the stream. Um, if you
see
send it to
it's right
me via
behind.
Discord, I can probably put it up.
Sure, it's I mean here angle.
Whenever any static happens, I'm really scared because. Nope, you're good.
It's if I turn my camera too low, it's
Oh
weird.
yeah, yeah.
I'll get a picture real quick. But yeah, no. Currently on my drafting table is a sketch for a spread for Meat Hill, for Meat Hill for the Sea Hill tomb, for meatheads. But it's actually one that I'm gonna scrap and start over. So
Is it the one that we went through, or is it like?
no. This is like a spread for like a piece of artwork.
Ah, okay,
Uh,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, Blark has an
So
actual drawing table, guys. Real
once
professional.
it's my brother's, and he's letting me borrow. um,
Actual
it's very
dungeon
kind of him.
drafting table. Nuts.
It's I try to use it for a lot of stuff, but yeah, like if I'm like at the table and like I need to like pin something down, but otherwise I do like to like you were saying like where we have trouble drawing vertically, I have to like spin the paper
Oh yeah,
around.
yeah, yeah.
I can't do that at the table when it's taped down, so it's just like ah.
Oh yeah,
um,
yeah, yeah. That's why they kind of like For me, what I used to do is I used to have like an iPad stand almost or a book stand that had a little
mhm,
bit of a swivel, so you could actually
yeah,
like swivel it around. But I found that
smart.
it's just a pin you have to bring out, so I don't use that anymore. Let me see.
Yeah, I mean, on our stream, I'm drawing on my digital tablet, which is not something I usually do.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of a challenge, but you gotta practice somehow.
Yeah, I've actually been doing the reverse. I've been doing a lot more like analog art recently.
Yeah, I've noticed too, and it looks really good. I mean, because you were saying how you were having trouble with the Wolves Upon the Coast,
Yeah.
then you just switch to physical, and you're like, this makes sense.
Yeah, I think that the reason for that is because that piece was such a huge composition that like
Yeah,
it was hard to see everything at once on like a computer or like on an iPad screen. Just having
yeah,
it on the paper where I could actually move my head down or up to actually
yeah.
view more details helped a lot. And I
I
think it's
remember,
mainly
and
for
then
that one because everything else I do doesn't have that much as much detail as that, you know?
yeah, I remember you were going hard on the digital painting with the detail, like with the cross hatching and everything. Like, it was really zooming in, and it was driving you crazy. I could
Yeah.
tell.
Like
And so, whoop,
oh
whoop, wrong layer.
yeah,
Um,
like I think in the end what I ended up doing was I did have some stuff done digitally, but those are for
mhm.
like after I got most of it done with pencil.
Yeah, absolutely. I
Yeah.
mean, like that. I like doing that too. It's just like drawing it, inking it in pencil by hand, and then like adding halftone or other shaders or other things like digitally.
I kind
Um,
of go back and forth though. Like nowadays I do like thumbnails in digital and then I print it out in blue and then I ink
mhm.
over it and then I put it back in and stuff like that. I find
I
that they have
think,
their strengths and weaknesses and you know.
yeah, I think like it's important, and also I guess true for most art forms is that like you just do what you can to make it work.
Yeah.
I mean, in my job as a my day job, screen printing, you know, there's um, sometimes you just do whatever the fuck works. You know, like you get like real janky and like jury rig shit, and just whatever the
Yeah.
like as long as the final product is something you're happy with.
But you've been
Yeah.
working up like more and more formal workflows for that stuff. Like a while back, you sent me a thing on how you figured out how to separate the colors automatically for screen printing and stuff.
Yeah, that was I mean, so before this job I had no experience screen printing.
Ah, okay.
And I kind of lied on my resume, as you should. But I was pretty artsy and they liked me, so they taught
Hmm.
me the ropes. And yeah, so a lot of my digital artwork comes from this job because I work a lot with like Photoshop and like Affinity Illustrator, mostly just like editing other people's art. But
Yeah.
when I, afforded time to like mess around and screen print stuff at work, which has been really cool. And like I have a screen printing setup at home now. I have like my own machine, or like not machine, but a press.
How much does that
Um,
cost actually? Like those kind of
um,
presses.
we, so me and my brother split it. It was $1,500.
Mm-hmm.
It was actually pretty cheap because it came with a printing press, the exposure unit,
Yeah.
a flash dryer, a bunch of equipment. Um, so like we got it pretty cheap, and he and I had a bit of cash because we sold some Taylor Swift tickets.
Okay.
Um, so
That's strange, but
it was
okay.
like I know it was. I mean, it was like the only reason we could buy it. It was like, oh, we had
Right.
these Taylor Swift tickets. Let's fucking
Nice.
let's make some money.
Thank you, Taylor Swift,
Um,
for getting us screen
thank,
printing.
thank you, Taylor Swift.
Thank you.
Um, we're Swifties. Um,
What has this chat become? Anyway, yeah,
oh my
yeah,
god.
yeah, keep going.
But what was I saying? Yeah, no, so learning screen printing has been artistically fulfilling. And I've been I screen printed the cover for Prison of the Forsaken Bear God. That
Oh
was
yeah,
really
I saw
fun.
that. I saw the
Um,
original like kind of thing.
yeah, it's actually just right up there.
Nice. Oh yeah, I see
And
it like from the
yeah,
small like I
yeah,
can
it's right up
recognize
there.
it. Yeah.
Um, but then I also did like some portraits, and so yeah, I'd like to do some more screen printing, like personal stuff, because I have like a screen printing setup at home. I have the emulsion. I have like me and my brother were just trying to figure out how to, because we don't have a proper like dark room or drawing storage, so we got this weird emulsion to help, and it works.
Yeah.
So but now I have to like just think of things to make, which is the hardest part. You know,
Have you checked
sometimes.
out like Max Moon stuff? He makes a lot of screen printed
No,
stuff, and it's like of really high quality. He made
I'll check.
12 years, as well as I think he did Abyss of Hallucinations, which is a Merkborg, Aleister Crowley kind of thing, where it's based on Aleister Crowley's Book of Lies, but he screen printed like a lot of the limited edition stuff out. And he does a lot of
Ah,
the
that's
book
cool.
binding and stuff. It's really cool.
Yeah,
Where does
I'm
the ooze
planning.
keep its eggs? Asked Jack.
Ooh,
Eggs.
eggs.
Oh,
Um,
that's disgusting. We have to do that now.
yeah, obviously. I think the eggs. So the ooze probably, reproduces asexually.
Yeah.
Um,
Kind of hard
so
to find a mate with this kind of
yeah,
specifications.
when you're living
It's
in
tough.
um, eggs.
Uh, I honestly think the eggs could be right here because
Yeah, you could put. Yeah, I was gonna say you could put them pretty much almost anywhere.
next to the heart.
I'm gonna draw some eggs over here too. We
Or
got two
like
eggs.
the eggs,
Ooh,
do the eggs just crack into like actual like ooze? Oh, that's where the enemies come from, I guess. I
yeah.
suppose.
I was thinking if I've got like the eggs of the right hemisphere, you have the eggs of the left hemisphere.
Yeah.
They hate each other.
Oh, it's even like color coded. It's like reflections are color coded.
Maybe I don't
Oh my
know.
god.
um,
Um, Jack says egg. Excellent.
excellent.
Thank you, Jack. Thank you for
Exquisite.
that. Yeah. Yes, he made the pun. Unfortunately. Let's see. Brain. Yeah, we can.
Boy.
I have it so you can. The brains. I kind of like the idea that they're like hung up by ooze, so like you could kind of like. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of either Low Life by did Sam Sorensen write that? You know the one
He did, yeah,
that's yeah,
yeah.
or
I've not read it,
Patrick
but I know.
Stewart's one, which I can't remember the name of actually.
Oh, yeah, Veins in the Earth.
Yeah. Like that climbing system will probably work well
Yeah,
with this.
I had Veins in the Earth for a little bit. But I never quite got all the way through it.
It's actually pretty
Um,
cool. Like I mean that and Low Life, I think both are really neat.
yeah, I'd like to check out Low Life because I think it has a little bit more. Well, they both have, but Low Life's what do you call it? The I don't know, the mechanics for like actually like cave crawling seem cool.
Yeah, I was talking to a few people about it, and I won't name names, but like a lot of people seem to prefer Low Life, just just because like they said it felt a lot more grounded and real for some reason. I haven't read that much into both to be able to offer that kind of opinion, but
Mhm.
you know,
I
maybe.
remember Veins of the Earth is, it's pretty I mean, I got it because I like the idea of just like yeah, traveling in like pitch
Yeah.
darkness and just doing that. But like I never ended up getting the chance to run a campaign like that. Um,
Is that an eyeball?
and
I'm sorry to like interrupt. Is that an eyeball?
yeah,
Because
it's
that's
like an
cool.
eyeball or like
That's
an ulcer.
awesome. What the hell? We need to like have like
Uh,
some kind of like some small opening, maybe to the side of the hill that I can look through and know that intruders are coming.
oh, like an eye stalk that comes out.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking more of like a hole in the side of the hill
Mhm.
that like is covered up slightly and you can only see kind of goo, but the eye can kind of see out. But an eye stalk
Yeah,
might be more like more obvious. Yeah.
can like he like pops out and like
Yeah, and you don't know what it is. It's just like these plants kind of thing. Like, oh, that's good actually. Yeah, I like that. Sorry for interrupting. I can't even remember what we were talking about, but
I can't even. It wasn't really anything.
yeah,
Oh, it was
but
the
eyes.
yeah. Um, have you run any like extended Underdark or long term thing?
No, not any like crawling kind of stuff where like you know how like Veins of the Earth and Low Life both have like in-depth cavern travel rules. I've never done anything
Yeah,
like that. I want to, but I haven't yet.
yeah.
Jack asks, where is the cult located? I think for this one, I'm not sure if there's gonna be a cult. primarily because everything that I make seems to have a cult. But a cult seems to be real. Oh yeah, we wanted to talk about cults in the previous
Yeah,
episode.
yeah. I was about to say, yeah, because we've been thinking about cults
We've been
and
thinking
just
about
kind of
cults a lot. Yeah.
what makes what makes cults tick in RPGs, and I don't know. I've been thinking about the way I've used them and um,
Why even
the way I
join a
interact.
cult?
Yeah, but like I guess just sort of yeah, because I had the problem of just like how do I like I was never satisfied with any cults that I made,
Hmm.
Um,
I think it can feel
so
very
I'm trying to like
cartoony, you know,
yeah,
very
and I'm
easily.
trying to think of like cult I don't know, just like what they do and how they affect a society or community, and just like basically like a cult's there to change the culture that is
Yeah,
present
yeah.
in society. So it's just like a very much like can be a threat to like political or like social like systems. Um, and just sort of like once you're from there, it's like okay, then it's just like how can they upset like what's going on?
Yeah, I think a
um,
good approach to it recently that I've seen is like Into the Assassin Citadel, where
yeah,
they're like a major faction at play, and they can, can have a lot of relations to the other gangs and stuff like that. They can't exist in a vacuum, pretty much. They have to exist with other things. Also,
yeah.
Chad says, "No cult. What are you? Who are you, and what have you done with CHAO?" Look, I gotta switch it up at some point. At some point, I can't have a cult in every single goddamn dungeon I make. You can't spell
Maybe not
culture
a.
without cult. Oh, sure.
Mhm.
That is true.
I mean, that's where the word comes from.
That is true
Uh,
too. I didn't. Oh, I'm not a smart person. I'm sorry.
so what if maybe not a cult, but like what other
Um, I think
fucking
it can just be like, why would you even come here? Like, what's the
yeah.
point of coming to this horrible like goo volcano? I think is that it might explode soon. There've been rumblings, and they're concerned. That might just be it, actually.
Yeah.
And the goo can
Jesus.
can talk to you and stuff. That might be cool.
I mean, I really like the idea of like the opposing hemispheres. I think that's like a strong.
Yeah, yeah, I like that too.
You know, what it actually kind of reminds me of is Slate and Caledony, the Troika adventure with the two wizards,
I
two wizard
don't remember
towers.
that at all. Like, who's that
It's
by?
uh, it's Dan Sell. It's
Oh, is it a new one? 'Cause-
yeah, it's
oh yeah,
Dan
yeah, yeah.
Sell's like um because I mean he wrote Troika and he wrote like
Yeah.
Blancmange and Tinsolf, and I think this is like the first like big Troika adventure he's written.
Has that come out yet?
For so, yeah, it's definitely out. I have a copy of it on PDF if you want to take a look.
No,
But
yeah, I've like I've seen early versions of it. Like when like I think a year back. When was it released actually?
it was probably early 23, maybe late 22.
Huh. Yeah, yeah. I saw
But
like I think I saw a version of it that was not done yet, but I can't really exactly remember.
it was
Um.
I but oh, second. I read it recently, and yeah, it's sort of like because that one is like two wizard towers that are connected to each other, and um, if I recall correctly, one of them is like trying to get away from the other one because they're like intrinsically linked together.
Yeah.
Um, and so that just kind of reminds me of this, where you have like these two, uh,
They're like connected at like pretty much the hip. There's no hip
yeah,
here,
these
but they're connected at the
two
hip.
sen yeah, these two sentient two things just opposing.
They just hate each other.
Yeah,
Can the ooze speak to visitors telepathically? Oh, that's actually an idea that I like. I do like
you
that.
got this. You got this big brain.
You
It
got a
better
big
be able to speak.
brain. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You got two big brains. So
Got two big brains, several little nodes of
yeah,
bullshit.
maybe the nodes are the ones that can like communicate via
Actually, I was
normal
thinking that too.
language.
Yeah, because like that would be like their purpose. They're sort of like
They're interpreters, kind of thing.
yeah, interpreters are sort of like telepathic interpreters.
Let me like open that up to maybe.
Yeah, you can also. I don't. I'm not happy with that placement. You can delete that one. Let's delete that one.
I think you gotta delete it on your layer.
I will.
I think maybe I think
Here,
having
here,
one
you can.
interpreter for each brain is good actually.
Yeah.
Because right now
So
you got like one there.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
get rid of that. I got one right here. God,
Oh,
I
okay,
hate
okay.
those. It's
I
my
kind of
stuff
like
looks
that,
just like
like
MS Paint.
interpreters.
Yeah.
Do the villagers sacrifice cows to it? I don't think so. I stop trying to make this into a cult. Stop it.
You know,
We're
maybe
no
not a
cults.
cult. What if one person worshipped it?
Oh yeah, no, that's okay with me. A one person cult, that's fine.
Yeah. So like
That's
one crazy farmer who does bring cows and gives it to the pit.
oh my
Um,
god. It's just mad Uncle Jack. Just he's just bringing the cows over to that goo mountain again. Oh, oh no. I like how what this has become actually, even not as a map, just as a drawing, it's kind of pretty cool.
yeah. I like your stuff.
It is. I kind of like the fact that it's
Hmm.
color coded. To be honest, I'm gonna remove this section here so I can make that
Yeah.
red because I think that'll be like. Let me erase that as well. Oh, that's pretty good. Actually, can you remove the nerves on my end so I can draw that as well? We
Yeah.
can make it completely like color coded. That would be cool. Like
Sure. The nerves. Oh, this end.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that
I
thing,
got you.
yeah.
Get rid of that stuff. Get out
Jack
of
the
here, guy.
farmer just donating cows. He's got that gurus going on, you know. Ah, that's disgusting. Why did I say that? That gurus. Oh no.
Gurus.
Yeah, the gurus. We should do this more often. This is awesome, actually.
Yeah, no,
That's pretty cool.
enjoy sketching. Like I said, I needed tonight. I think I just needed a time to like sit down, and just draw some stuff.
Yeah. Like it can be really therapeutic, especially when you're doing it with friends, which is hard to
Yeah,
do, especially since most people don't know that you can do that. Like that these applications exist and stuff like that.
yeah. We got some parallel play going on here.
Let's see, Jack the farmer, but Jack is running out of cows, and and that's where the quest comes in, I suppose.
Need to breed more cows.
Oh yeah, speaking of which, this
Breeding
has nothing
cows.
to do with it, but like I was thinking of doing Vermis like zine with Catherine. I think it'd be
Oh
pretty
yeah.
cool. Yeah,
No, because you
like
two have been like discussing on just like voice chat.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Shoot.
but I think like Catherine does really good like just prose. That's
Hmm.
not like I think she also told me that she prefers stuff that's like not connected to a game or anything. And I wanted to do stuff that's just crazy and out there and also not really connected mechanically to anything. So it's like kind of perfect.
Yeah.
So we might
Are
be doing
you
that.
you two still working on metalheads?
Oh yeah, 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 100%. But Metalhead
Yeah,
seems to be something that we're gonna be doing for the long term actually. Like
that's cool.
they're thinking of like releasing it. Justin and Catherine are thinking of releasing it like next year or something, kind of
Oh,
thing.
that's cool.
Like they're gonna make it
Uh,
huge. Like right now, I don't know if you've seen the document for it recently. Oh, Metalheads is a hack of Meatheads. I keep forgetting we're actually on stream, but Metalheads is a hack of Meatheads, and I've been working on art. And the team is Catherine and Justin Vandermeer, and it's just like a really grungy body horror cyberpunk kind of thing. But
yeah,
the
it's
recent document is like really there's a lot inside. I don't know if you've seen it.
the I haven't I think Catherine sent it to me. I have to double check. But what I like about it is that, there's a bunch of cyberpunk games out there, but the specifically, big influence of Catherine is like Tetsuo the
Tetsuo,
Iron
yeah.
Man. Yeah. And so like it's great to see like all this like metallic body horror kind of like heavy synth
Yeah, we
stuff
have a
rather than
Pinterest
like
board
the
for it, and it's like
corpo.
mostly like Tetsuo kind of stuff.
It's yeah, it's not like the neon
Not very clean.
brain lights of like corporate hell of cyborg
Yeah, which is
or like
cool, but
cyberpunk.
like
It
I
is
think it
cool. I
can
mean,
be
yeah.
done really well. In
Hmm.
terms of the theming, I think Cyborg does it really well actually. In terms of like the
I
theming,
mean, yeah. I've not
but
read
there's
it.
a lot of
I've
body horror
also
in that too. I feel like
yeah. No, I don't. I don't. I guess I'm also just like not super well versed in cyberpunk as a genre.
Yeah,
Um,
same. I'm not really that well versed in it either. I've never really
which
ran any. I've ran one game in it, but that's about it.
I'm just a fantasy dork mostly,
Yeah,
but
same.
I do like some Napoleonic era shit.
Oh, I've been
I mean, as
we've
racing.
been trying to talk about war games, so um,
Yeah, no, exactly.
Jack
Yeah.
says Jack is running out of cows though, and villagers have been going missing as of late. Surely it's not connected.
Oh, Jack, what
Surely,
are you doing?
Jack, what the fuck?
Don't trust Jack. If he invites you to his farm,
He's got that weird eye.
yeah.
I feel like having the one of his eyes just be like longer than the other to
No
indicate that
one's
like it's kind of
no
like
one's seen Jack's wife in over a fortnight.
no
Jack says she's sick, the fever.
uh getting green in the gills, coughing up green phlegm, but
Yeah.
like it's
I mean,
actually
oh,
like bright green.
going back to your project you want to do, like your Vermis-esque project with
Yeah,
Catherine,
yeah,
I like that so much. I mean, like I right now, like all my stuff's focused on meatheads. So like any time I have, I'm like, all right, you got to sit down and like write for meatheads. When I really, I have a bunch of other ideas I want to work on. But
yeah,
I want to make a sort of like hand-drawn zine, kind of in the style of like 1000 statues,
yeah,
where
yeah.
it's just like pen and like just or pencil on paper,
I really
but
want to
have
do
it be
that
more like
too.
have it be more like a location or setting, and just have it be very vague and um or not vague, sorry, detailed. Cannot speak
Very
and draw at
system
the same time.
neutral, very like not specifically for games kind of thing, right?
Kind of, yeah, but I also thought like it could be fun just to throw in like a very rudimentary system in there, just like
Yeah.
just even using the HD, like just like hey, like you have one HD
I mean, kind of
game,
did that with
great.
Swine a while back.
Yeah, yeah, and just sort of yeah, I don't know. I think I for that one just really just putting things on the paper and seeing what comes up. I'm not like
Yeah,
um
I'll actually recommend you look at Castle Grief's stuff. Uh,
exactly, yeah,
he's
Castle
released
Brief, yeah,
like
exactly,
recently
yeah,
like a whole world zine that is just
mhm,
made with like typewriter and pen on paper.
exactly. Castle Grief's a perfect example because he does great work, and like yeah,
Yeah,
it's just sort of that kind of like style where it's just sort of like just free form. And I don't know. It's almost like journal keeping. That's how I
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
felt
yeah.
when I was writing 1000 statues. It's kind of just like writing in a journal.
I feel like you can get the same thing out of like a daily solo play as well.
Yeah, I think so.
Which I think
You've got
like
you've got
yeah, I
me
don't
interested in
really
some
keep a journal for most of my solo stuff actually. Like
interesting. Okay, you just
I
like write down what happens.
yeah, I kind of like just write down the effects of what happens on that thing, and I usually remember it even like months later on. I look through my notes and I'm like, oh yeah, this happened, but I don't like actually write down in long form what happens. I don't write down like sentences and I don't write down like dialogues. But I still can remember it like way later, even if I didn't record it. Right?
Hell yeah. Yeah, I gotta try a solo stuff sometime. My brother got me a book. It's an old like choose your adventure book, Black Baron, but you need
Oh
the
wait, what? You
counterpart.
got Black Baron?
Yeah,
Do
I
you have
got
the
Black Baron.
accompanying one? Like the
I don't have White Warlord,
oh
so
my gosh, those are
I only have
rare.
yeah. My brother, he was like, yeah, like if you get a set of these, you can.
Yeah, that stuff owns. For those who are not aware, it's basically like how do you even explain that? It's kind of like a first person
Yeah, it's
um
like a choose your own adventure.
multiplayer choose your own adventure game.
I'm gonna go grab it and I'll just like put the
Yeah,
pages up
yeah,
to
yeah.
the screen because it is worth seeing. Hold on,
It
I'll be right
is
back.
crazy, yeah. I think like Questing Beast did a video on it as well. If you guys haven't like seen that. Actually that part probably we could make it black.
All right. Yeah,
Yo.
so it's Combat Heroes #1 Black Baron by Joe Dever.
Yeah, same person made like Lone Wolf, I think.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, that is rare, I believe.
Yeah, pretty
Especially after
cool.
Ben Milton made a video about it. Yeah. So like basically for those seeing on stream, you kind of just like tell the other player your movement, and you kind of like have to both flip to another page, and you can find each other in this maze. And I don't know how they did it. It's kind of nuts,
Yeah.
especially back in the day.
And
It's like a persistent kind of like maze thing where you try and find each other so you can like find them from the back and backstab them that way, and it's pretty crazy.
yeah, it's wild. And like all these pages, like all these images are drawn too.
Yeah.
It's
Oh
great.
man, speaking of art, I think before the stream we were talking about like Ian Miller's art, and I wake up every morning and I'm like, I want to draw like that. So now I actually have like a folder of like Ian Miller's art. Is that by Russ or is it by somebody else? Like that art?
Let me check. See if I can't find all that. Peter Parr,
Oh,
but
I
never
actually
heard of him.
don't know that one. Huh.
It seems like pretty standard, like comic booky
Yeah.
esque.
The style of the time, I guess. Actually, I'm gonna put my layer over yours if that's okay, because I
Yeah,
want to
go
be
for it.
able to like uh, draw over some of the red in mine and try to blend them together,
Yeah, I'm
like
trying to think
having
of like
and have a like a transition.
it's like a weird tongue here. Trying to fill out these other rooms, other
I'm
organs.
wondering if I should make the lungs one of them red, but I don't think so. I think like the lungs belonging to one of the factions might be cool, then the other one can have something else. Or alternatively, I could like make the heart kind of like half. Yeah, I should do that. Should like make the heart kind of half half. Try to get that done.
Um,
Let me grab that color. Oh wait, I think I have to do it on a new layer and then flip to the below. I think like that, and then let's see if this works. There we go. Oh yeah, look at that. You can just
oh,
color it in
nice.
now. It's kind of darker than for some reason. Oh, because I. Ah, there you go. I think that's good. Yeah. Do that for this part as well.
That's so handy.
Yeah, I like this app really has like a lot of features that are you don't find in a lot of like online Photoshop clones, and this one is
No, that's
collaborative, which is nuts.
yeah, it is super nice. It's great for like any online game where you're like map making.
Yeah. Actually, one of my first videos on this channel, is how to use Magma Studio to, use for that for RPGs and stuff, and I use it to run a few sessions before. Um, I had this whole setup where you could actually like use the rectangle tool and actually make like masks in this thing with a grid and everything, so you could like draw the map real quick. I found it
Oh wow.
easier to use than most VTTs that I could find.
Yeah, I remember a while like in this was like 2020 when in the States we were in quarantine.
Hmm.
Me and my friends were using like VTTs, like
Yeah.
Foundry. It's actually where I first ran. Do you know the game Star Dogs?
No, I don't.
It's a sort of like retro space opera sci-fi game. And it might have, I don't know. I like when I first ran it, I kind of not discounted it, but I like added some things to it because my players were like coming from like Pathfinder, so they wanted like abilities and stuff like that. Um, so I like added special abilities and whatnot,
Hmm.
and but I was like, I don't know, I really look back on it fondly because I ran like 9 sessions. It was like a 9 story arc. Very clear cut, being like, all right, so we're just like doing 9 sessions, from here to
Right.
here.
Like time boxing it, I think is
Yeah,
the phrase.
and I was like doing very much like Star Wars. We got 9 episodes, and it was fun. It was it was one of the more memorable campaigns. And yeah, although I think for that one we were using Roll20. Um,
Yeah,
I don't
I
know.
don't think I ever really use VTTs pretty much
Yeah, I
ever,
used
which is kind of a shame because I feel like I could make some like custom maps and stuff. I always feel like I might get locked in whenever
mhm.
I use anything with any pre-made maps. Like, oh, you have to get to the dungeon kind of thing, unless the dungeon is the whole adventure. Like in the case of the
Yeah,
game that we're playing right now, or like a mega dungeon or something like that. But I find that like
I
if I have to make stuff where they might go there, I might
mhm.
get locked in sometimes.
Yeah, I as far as like using maps on at the table. So like in my IRL games that I run, I usually like draw the map for people, my players, because
Yeah.
it's just like the way we've done it for a long time. I would really love if they um, drew maps for. So like I'm running one of the games I run is DCC, and in
Mm.
that one I encourage people to like draw their own maps because it is like a hex crawl,
Yeah.
um, and it has multiple dungeons, and it's just sort of like, hey, like you might want to like have spatial awareness in case you want to come back here later because for one particular reason is that like during their game they made enemies with this ape wizard king, um, like on a peak, and so like they climbed the peak and like explored a bunch of this dungeon,
Mm-hmm.
and then like escaped, and now they like they're like enemies, and so like they plan to go back to the peak. I'm just like, all right, do you guys have your dungeon map? Like, like how do you like? I don't know. It's just like is practical and just offers a lot of
Yeah,
planning.
which is why I kind of like player mapping mostly for
Mhm.
games where you're gonna return.
Yes, yeah.
Or
I
if
think
like yeah, I think that's just it. Like if you're gonna return.
I totally agree.
Mega
But yeah, for
Dungeons
like
being
my
a big
game,
example, yeah.
yeah, for my game, my Pathfinder game that I run weekly, that's been like 8 years. That I basically run Spelljammer in.
Yeah.
Um, that one I I map when like we're in the dungeon, um, but it's
If it's
yeah,
gonna be
that
a
one's
one shot, and especially if it's like Pathfinder, where there's a lot more. Correct me if I'm wrong, but like there's a lot more combat tactics or stuff they can
yeah.
kind of like that kind of stuff.
It, it
Like,
says there are, but there aren't really. Uh, it's
but they kind of use like grid based combat, right? If I'm
yeah,
not wrong.
but and I'm kind of like over grid-based combat.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think like it's much more fun just to be like, hey, I'm gonna move my guy here and he's gonna do this. Like, I don't care if like you get a flank because the other guy's like on the other side, or you get a +2 bonus for
Yeah.
blah blah blah.
I was trying to do some of
Um,
that actually with like Hyperborea. I was trying out that system. And I was just like, I think some of it can be a good guide, especially if you want to add like bonuses based on the fiction. But a lot of it
mhm.
can kind of like bog down the game quite a bit.
Yeah, and so like I mean, to be fair, I'll actually say that I do uh I do like a grid combat game, a tactical game. Pathfinder 2 is a little bit closer to that, I found when I
Hmm.
run it. But still just sort of like push the button, see me do my cool ability. Um,
Yeah.
and yeah, I don't know. I like for a game that's like gonna use a grid for combat. Um, I just play. I don't. I rather play
Like a war game
a
or like
board
a board
game.
game or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, or a board game. Yeah. I don't know. That's just the mood. There's just
Recently,
the
I've been
mood I'm
playing
into.
Cave Evil War Cults, and that's like the most fun I've ever had, ever. It's
Which one's
so
this?
good. Cave Evil War Cults. Uh,
Oh yeah.
yeah, it's so good. I, I, I can't stop thinking about like how good it is. And I'm gonna play another session tomorrow. Uh, it's a real life game with obviously it's a real life game. Like I don't think it's on unless it's on Tabletop Simulator. It might be, but it's kind of like this war game where there's so many things that could happen. It's kind of nuts. Like I had these puffball people who are basically when you kill them, they'll explode and they'll like possibly explode other people in the line of sight.
Hmm.
And I was able to position them so that I could essentially have one of them die to the other team's commander, but all of them were stationed at just strategic points so that half the entire army was taken out in like one turn because they all exploded at the same time. And I was like,
That's awesome.
holy shit, that's amazing. And then there were like
Yeah,
tarantulas that like jumped over gaps, and like the other opponent got so pissed off that he took a wizard, came over there and petrified them into becoming a wall. And then that wall was just there for the rest of the game. It's
that
great.
rocks.
Yeah. It's like there's so many emergent stories that come out of one session of that. It's kind of nuts. I'm kind of
I'm
like, how
trying
do they
to
even do that?
trying to think of like a game I want to run in real life. Um, I try to like stick to like just not running too many games or like not trying
Yeah.
to join too many games now. But if there's a game I want to run in Chicago, I'd really love to run On Guard.
Oh,
You've heard me
yeah.
beat my drum. I like On Guard. I think it's very fun, and yeah, I don't know. On Guard's great, and I have I have a plan for like I would like to do a hack of On Guard. Um,
Gotta
and like
finish
as like
me
a
that first.
I know, dude. um, so yeah, On Guard's great. If anyone hasn't checked out On Guard by Game Workshop, I think. Um,
Yeah, there's a video released recently by this channel called Daddy Roller One,
mhm.
on the history, a lot of stuff on the history of like OD&D and stuff like that. He did a recent video on On Guard that is like 50 minutes long, so it's in my watch list, but I haven't watched it yet. But he does
Oh yeah.
amazing stuff. Like he seriously does some of the best videos I've ever seen on like D&D history. And like I think he had recent videos on the thief and why it caused so much controversy, and also why the originals were so focused on like fighters and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And all
Interesting.
those are
Yeah,
like 30 to 50 minutes. It's nuts.
that's funny. Speaking of On Guard, Cat really likes On Guard too.
Oh
If
yeah, yeah, yeah. You guys were all playing in that play by post game in the server that we're in.
I was winning.
Damn you, Luke
I
Gehring, for not updating it.
I was the richest. I had the baddest bitch. I
Uh, oh well.
I made everyone mad.
Yeah.
They hated me because I had so much riz.
Do you get dueled almost? I feel like I
I
was
got I
peeking
got
in and like,
I got dueled once, and the duels in that game are it's like on the edge of your seat because it's all queuing in. You don't roll dice. You actually
right.
think. You actually have to think. It's not left to chance. It's like because you queue up your actions, and depending on what your maneuver is, and depending on what the other person's maneuver is, something happens.
Yeah,
So it's like you trying to guess what the other person's going to do. Um,
right.
you know,
Like rock paper
a
scissors
game.
on steroids, kind of.
What is it? What's that Wu-Tang quote from the song?
Chess boxing.
Yeah, a game of chess is like a sword fight.
Yeah,
You must think
yeah, yeah.
first before you move. Yeah,
Yes.
that kind of stuff.
Oh, that
Um,
just played in my mind, and now
I know.
the music video
It's
is so
just,
great too. Like the sensor effects are all like sword clashes. I don't
oh
know if
man,
you remember
we
that.
love Wu-Tang.
Yeah.
Wu-Tang is true OSR music.
Yeah, yes,
I'm
we'll
gonna
go with
say it
that.
right now.
Actually, this is pretty amazing. How long have we been going for? Oh, we've been going for 1 hour and like 15 minutes. I think we
Yeah,
are
I know.
almost pretty much done with. We should remove the grid. Actually, I'm thinking.
Wow.
I think we should remove the grid. I
I
don't
like it
know.
without the grid, yeah.
Yeah, let me save this as a image. Tell me when you're done with it, so I can like just save it up.
I'm good whenever you can
All
save
right,
it.
I'll just save it up. There we go. I got a
Ew.
saved up version. Let me see. Do they export this in full res? Oh yeah, yeah, it's pretty good. I so like well, if you ever want to come on again and like just doodle stuff, we can keep working on this and like maybe like key it up or something. You open up a
Nah,
document.
I'm not never coming on again.
Oh man, it's a bad
No, just
experience.
yeah, no, I think that'd be a great time is if we just yeah, I like this. We just shoot the shit and just make something.
I see like a
Kind of like
bunch of teeth
what you
down
and Kev
there.
do, yeah. With the teeth.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, I was actually copying your ganglion over here.
Oh, oh, I guess mine also looks like a bunch of teeth actually. I'm, that's like
Yeah.
the nerves supposedly, but I think mine just look like a bunch of teeth now that I look at it.
You know, I
I
got a
kind
bunch
of
of
like the
teeth
idea of
right here.
teeth, but you know, yeah.
Oh yeah, I got like a tooth, like a crystal tooth or something like these things
Oh,
is what I
it
was
was a
thinking.
good, yeah.
These like stalagmite teeth almost.
Yeah, that's really cool. Let me try to like before we end off, let me try to blend in all of the places where the red kind of there's like some red artifact thing here and there. I'll just try to blend it in with the green. I think we're good to go actually. Let me
I think
save
so
this up.
too. I like this.
Yeah, okay. So let me just end off by thanking everybody who came today. Thank you, Jack. Thank you, Renee. Thank you, Gaffmore. Thank you, Dennis. Thank you. Did I miss anybody? I hope I did not miss anybody. But thank you guys for coming in and chatting and like keeping us company as we draw this thing, whatever it is. Still don't really know what it's a goo mountain, but
Um,
don't know what it's about. Yeah. Hope you like that. I'm probably gonna stop streaming. Oh my god, I forgot to record the video. Ah, it doesn't matter. I never use them anyway.
whatever. Wait,
It's
so good.
fine. Alright. Yeah.